Oh. No. Wow. Thank you for your patience on some unplanned on things like this. There we go. And yes, hi. Welcome. How was this going to start again? First of all, I just want to welcome some special people who've been through some journeys with me on this. You met him earlier. Son Dane, son Jake, son-in-law Kevin, Lisa's brother Alan, right over in this corner. So give those guys a hand. So special. Everybody else in the room special too. I had to acknowledge the blood first, of course. So at any rate, so thank you. Thank you to the rest of you for coming. This is a wonderful show of support and a wonderful treat to see so many of you from so many different worlds from 30 and 40 years ago and new friends from 30 days ago. So it's wonderful. A couple of widowers in the group. Paul, thank you for coming. Going on this journey together. Bill as well. I think that's all of them that I know of. And that's kind of the introductions. So, this is your big screen. It was so much better on the big one. But we'll at least get to going on this. Who remembers those people? Oh, a lot of you. Those of you under 40 don't remember the Coneheads, probably. Coneheads were a Saturday Night Live sketch staple, and they were pretty popular in their day, and they even had a major movie in 1993. And they were from another planet. They talked in halting ways, wore odd clothing, and so that was the story of the Coneheads. For better or worse, they're part of our cultural lore. And because they were odd, my smoking hot bride and I decided that for one Halloween party we were invited to, we would be the Coneheads. We were just that way. So I won't tell you the other year when we were Star Trek, Spock and Kirk too, but that was good as well. But the Coneheads have a better story. Uniforms, check. Makeup, check. Rubber Conehead, check. We are all set. Transportation to the party, uncheck. Had a 1981 Honda Prelude. You know what those are like? There's no back seat in those things. They're tiny. How are you going to fit a Conehead in a Prelude? Baloney. So, however, we got lucky. The Prelude had a sunroof. And we're off to the party. I don't mind telling you we were late to this party. Why do you think we were late to the party? Because everywhere we went, everywhere, all the cars next to us, the cars we passed, the cars that passed us, the people on the sidewalk, the people crossing the crosswalk, they're pointing, they're laughing, they're cheering, they're thumbs up, they're just having a ball. And because they had a ball, we had a ball. We drove around for a long time. Loving it, just loving it. Everywhere we went, people were laughing, and it was fun. I don't even remember the party. But this was just too much fun as far as getting there and doing that. So, anyway, that was a great family marriage. It was 1986. We've been married 4 years, no kids yet. In case you don't know me, I'm Paul Madsen, growmedia.com. We better read it. Social media videos tell and sell the story of your book or business. And I just love to promote you. My favorite thing is to help a business or an author to tell their story, to get their word out. And we've got several stories in here about that. That's what I do. Some of you are on this small screen. Another thing that's important to me as far as I like promoting people, of course, my family. You've met my two sons, my brother-in-law. Here we are in the car. Jake's hiding behind the car seat. Daughter Laura in the middle. There's Dane. Bride by my side, Lisa, and we're just being a family. I grew up in Wisconsin, hence my connection with Jeff, I think. And that's before Jake. Sorry, you're not on the picture. Anyway, there's Kevin, Laura's fiance. And a rare picture, I got Kevin to smile. And Laura, I think she's up to something. You know that look on her face. Who knows what's going on in her brain. So that's a little bit about a terrible picture. Family time out, 6 of us having holiday dinner at a nice restaurant. So just enjoying that kind of thing. Yet one more trip, Grand Lake, Colorado. Lisa's radiant. Laura's in the gawky early teenage stage. Dane's there. Jake is completely disinterested. And me, I'm doing my best Jack Nicholson impression. Death is personal to me, my sons, and my daughter's fiance. 9 months after the death of my 31-year-old daughter, Laura, my wife of 40 years, Lisa, also died. Our family is all too familiar with hospice, ICUs, 24/7 oxygen, and all the other things that come with deaths from long-term chronic illnesses. After Lisa and Laura died, Laura 21 months ago, Lisa about a year ago, I started attending grief support groups. I went to 2 of them mainly. One through Hevey Hoffman, Dvorak and Cutler, Sunday nights, and another one was a grief share organization. And several of you I know from those places. And after one of the Sunday night events, a lady, I will call her Marge, approached me, and we had a talk. She had a talk. I listened. She had recently, more recently than my losses, she had recently lost her husband suddenly and tragically, and she was racked up about it. She was wound up and very tearful, very emotional, and she was talking to me, telling me her story and all about all her very raw grief. And I didn't say much. I pretty much just listened. Rare for me, I know. But at any rate, the interesting thing was that when she got done with that, she composed herself. She gave me a huge hug and couldn't thank me enough over and over and over. And I said to myself, well, I'm here for my grief. I'm here to get well and help myself. I'm not here for her, but guess what? That felt really good. It felt really good to help someone and to listen to their story. And I said, you know what? I want more of that. I want to do more helping her. I call her Marge, help me. And so that was a pivotal moment in my thinking. And I said, well, you know, I've written 4 other books. I've got some rough journal notes. Maybe I'll write a book about grief. Little research, and not a great idea. There are hundreds and hundreds of books on grief out there. Why would mine be any different? You know, yes, I have my story, but just why would it be any different? But then I thought more about it. And I went back to the grief groups like I continue to do. And there at the grief groups, at the one on Sunday night, 40, 45 women, 5 or 6 guys. At the one on Tuesdays, 20 women, 5 guys. There's one of them. And so I just asked myself, what's going on here? What is the deal with so few guys? And when the guys get in small groups, they don't talk as much either. Maybe the women drown them out. I don't know. I didn't say that. Anyway, that was just an area, a breakthrough, a thought that I had. Many men may feel that culture limits the way they should grieve at the death of their loved ones. This book addresses that issue in a hands-on way, offering practical tools to help them as they experience the trauma of loss. So my angle, if you will, became grief for men. And so that's where I went with it. And a person in this room called my project a calling. And I really have run with that idea. You know, they talk about you got to have your why. I have my why. My why is my calling. I got to read it because, not fitting on there very well. To let our story help men to never grieve alone, enabling them to find the tools they need to rebuild their lives after loss. That's my why. That's my calling. I don't know what it has to do with watermelon. But I like the picture. Those guys look like they're helping each other out, doesn't it? I love the picture. So that was the story of how that's born. In addition to the book, I also have scheduled a retreat for men. This is Men's Never Grieve Alone Retreat. Many of you know about Carol Joy Holland Nebraska Ministries down in Asheville, Nebraska, October 1. So we're going to give that a run and see how it goes. These grief groups I go to, I've learned so much from the people there and listening to their stories and knowing that I've done retreats and seminars for 30 years, 40 years, and I just think that my two worlds will match perfectly to fit my calling. So there's the grief retreat as well. Short version. 40 years ago, taking a honeymoon with my bride in a Chevrolet Chevette. Who remembers those? The air conditioning leaked water on the floor inside. She had to hold her feet back so she didn't get wet feet. We were young, and it's kind of like the car I drive now. No. Anyway, we took a long trip over the Great Plains. And what does the Great Plains have? A lot of historical markers. And so the historical markers, with our dry and odd senses of humor, they soon became known as hysterical markers. And we thought it was funny at first. We'd laugh out loud when we drive yet one more. Oh. Well, there's too many. By the time we got done, we're just kind of like, oh, you know, inside look at each other. And so that was, but fast forward 30 years, 30, not 40. Fast forward 30 years, and we're taking a staycation, or a Nebraska vacation only. Laura, Dane, Jake, Paul, Lisa, seeing some sights in Nebraska. And we're kind of looking at each other out the corner of our eyes, and we're going by these hysterical markers and thinking some things have changed and some things haven't. The things that have changed have a big old minivan and 3 kids in the back end. They're probably fighting too, by the way. But the thing that hasn't changed, we're still grimacing or giggling about the hysterical markers. And we saw quite a few on that trip. There's a Lake McConaughey. We were jet skiing out there. That was great fun. Terrible picture, but the memory's still solid. Why did you guys let Laura drive? I don't quite understand that. Anyway, there everybody's sunning on the Lake McConaughey beach. Jake's about, that's the next slide. Of course, you got to do Chimney Rock. Jake is a full 2 feet shorter there than he is now. And of course, I grew up in Wisconsin. Lots of A&W restaurants up there. For some reason, A&Ws are at gas stations out of western Nebraska. We ate at A&Ws 3 times on that way. The A&W trip, Dane is a power root beer float drinker. At any rate, so it kind of became known as the A&W trip, at least in my mind. I don't know if you guys remember it that way or not. You know me, I'm always putting a little slogan on something. Anyway, this is going to be tough because it's hard to see. Before I tell you in detail about the book, I want to tell you about the story behind the book, and that is part of what I told you. The grief groups, the friends, the family. On this side is a list of about a dozen review readers. I am smart enough to know that I don't know very much, and I farmed this out to over a dozen of you and other people to tear it apart. And, you know, if you've been through it or not, some of you have, Grief makes you crazy. And my first draft, I love the feedback. Don't be. The feedback was verbal vomit on paper. And it really meant a lot to me because I said, it is. And you're angry and why did this happen and all this and all that. And I think there was a couple of sentences that had 16 kinds of formatting in them. I had exclamation points, underlined, italics, bold, indented. I needed lots of help and they gave it to me. Thank you all for those of you in the room who did that. Anyway, they made it a much, much better book. And it's a lot of work to do it that way. Much better to just create your own thing and throw it out there and be done. But no, I took the constructive criticism, and thank you again for that. So there you are. I can't read them all. We won't have time for that. There's a general group here, everything from people I interviewed, people I listened to me, friends, just people who helped out in a variety of different ways. On the top is, I want to make a shout out. A lot of you have helped me out for 12 weeks, 12 months. I wanted to say thank you to this guy. For some reason, that guy in the corner with the camera has been helping me out for 12 years with my marketing, with my videos, with my technology. I don't know why you hang around, Jeff. Thank you very much. Jeff has the best bicycling television show in the Midwest. I know it may be the only one, but but I contend it's the best. Thank you, Jeff, for a dozen years. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you for giving me the idea to do Harlan's Cycle.
Yeah, because of he was a guest a couple times on my show, and he became the guest, or became his own show, and it's doing great. Monica is not here, but Monica sent back photography. Every book has to have some pictures, and I have a press kit I've created, I'm working on. And I showed, she's not here, but I showed a friend of mine for 20 years, someone who knows me pretty well, a picture of that Monica had taken. And this person's reaction was, "Is that you?" So Monica, you're not a photographer, you're a magician. Lisa Pelto is here, and I don't know. So many late night phone calls, emails, text messages, over and over and over. I don't know how she puts up with me because she's dedicated a lot of crunch time. The Amazon thing, I'm in review right now as far as the book got posted or attempted to be posted, but they have to review it before they let you pull the lever. That's where my status was. So therefore, I had no books. Enter Lisa. And was it 11 o'clock, 11:30, 12 o'clock last night where I'm watching her with her manufacturing facility creating books before my very eyes. That was wonderful. So all things self-publishing. Thank you, Lisa. Again, there's so many of you that helped in so many ways. I hate to single people out. Last shout out I do want to make, however, is a book is judged by its cover, right? And a cover is driven by its title. Well, at Panera Coffee, I was having coffee with this woman, and I would scribble title ideas and shove them over to her, and she'd scribble stuff out and move words around, shove them back to me. I'd shove them back to her. Sometimes we met in the middle, we were scribbling, drawing, and all this happy stuff. I know I drove most of you crazy with title surveys and questions and all that. But that day, we came down with the final title. And I'm pleased with it, obviously. It was collaborative in the true sense of the word. It was magical, kind of. I call it spiritual. Kathy Rigg, thank you for that time. It was a spiritual moment, and it was also a nuanced moment. So Kathy's a ghostwriter. Kathy, thank you for that. And I know I drove all of you crazy with them. Bill's like, when's this guy going to stop? Pick a title already, Paul. Subtitles and all that stuff. So, Shelby, thank you. I can't interview myself on my own show about my own book, so Shelby stepped in, did a wonderful job of guest hosting. That was a lot of fun. She just jumped in and just like a natural just went to town, and we had great fun. That show drops tonight on KPAO at 5:30 on Cox Channel 22, and it'll be on YouTube, my YouTube channel, and KPAO's YouTube channel as well very soon. I haven't even seen it yet because I've been so busy with other stuff, but I'm looking forward to it because I talked Mike, the director down there at the KPAO, into putting some background music behind it, so we'll get real all cool. So, I think we'll see. So Shelby, thank you. You did a great job. About the book, we're doing okay. Before I tell you, well, I'd already told you about that part, but I can't remember where I'm at. Oh, yeah, well, the book's about men, and men who grieve, obviously. That's where we're going with things. And inside the book, there are 5 types of male mourning. I talk about, there's probably 10, 20 types of male mourning, but I chose 5 that I personally have experienced and that I still experience. So that goes on and on. Each of the types I have symbolized with a tool. And I'm sorry, this is blocking you guys over here. And a tool that is symbolic of the grief types. We don't have time in this venue to discuss each one of them, but there's a sanding block, a timer, a level, crowbar, and varnishing the wood. And these represent the different types. An example is a sweeper is one of the types of male mourning. A sweeper, we all know them, we maybe are them. You know that little line of dust that's in the dustpan that you can't get into the dustpan at the end? If you have an open air rug there, you lift that up and sweep that. Sweep that into the rug. Well, that's sometimes what men do with their grief. They sweep it under the rug, they deny it, they don't admit it's there. So that's an example. Read the book. You'll get the whole detail. Please. But that's kind of the gist of it. Finally, these guys are dying to hear about it. I hope you are too. Let's see. I might have to. This is not part of the plan. Everything changes. Got to stay flexible, just like life. So what I need is a drum roll. 3, 2, 1. Goodness. Thank you. It's a community event, took a village, and it's here. It is on Amazon. It's under review. Who knows when they will make it available to the public. I'll send you an email. I'll blast it out when it's available for purchase. I have some samples here. For example, that's supposed to be right there. And here's the back cover. Magician work there. And who was that? You go to the principal's office right now. Good one. You see the kind of friends I have. That was great.
What does it say in the box?
I'm sorry. Yeah, the big screen's not here. Men Grieve 2, Tools to Help Men Rebuild After the Death of a Loved One.
Perfect. Yeah.
Tools to Help Men Rebuild After the Death of a Loved One. Some of you remember getting, well, there'll be the time. Lots of cameras out there. Feel famous or something. So, okay. This is, I wish we had the big screen. It would be hard for you to see. Daughter Laura drew the short straw in health in her life. Heart issues from day one, 2 major open heart surgeries, lung disease, lung decay, Kevin knows all these stories quite well. Jake and Dave know these stories too. And she never complained about it. Oh, she swore at her oxygen tanks quite often, didn't she? But as far as saying, why me? That was not her. That was not her story. So to wrap up, it's a 2-minute video. And she wanted to use her story to help other people. And her words are better than mine. I hope you can hear this. Hope you can see it. Yes, I'll move that. I will do that. Thank you.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Higher.
Friends and family. Peace and good time.
Oh. Oh, no. No, you're kidding me. Breaking the moment.
Hello.
This is, well, I'll be moving though.
Friends and family. Peace and good tidings to you on this gorgeous September day here in Omaha, Nebraska, United States of America. Yeah, so I wanted to make a short little video on why it is important to be grateful. Being grateful helps you increase your happiness level. If you're feeling down, just think of 3 things to be grateful for, and if you do that for 21 days in a row, you'll feel amazing, because it'll be a new habit. And if you have a habit of having an attitude of gratitude, life will be peachy, keen, awesome. You know, like, most of us have it really, really, really well off since we have a roof over our heads, we have food in the pantry, we have loved ones who care about us, and we can connect with them really, really, really quickly over the internet. That's pretty cool. So, just keep things to keep in mind as you're going about your day, and I hope that this little video could pick you up and brighten your day. That's my job. At least I like to think it is. So, have a good one. Bye.
Oh.
Peace and good life.
Sorry. This is where the PowerPoint didn't work to get it to the next one. Stop it. There we go. She motivates me, she inspires me, and Lisa motivates me, inspires. Laura's been gone 21 months. Lisa died 365 days and about 12 hours ago. So it's right at 1 year. They inspire me to try to help grieving guys with finding the tools they need to deal with their individual and unique grief journeys. They inspire me to help grieving guys to never have to grieve alone. They inspire me to not help guys to get information, they inspire me to help guys with transformation. Thank you for being here. Oh my. Thank you.
Paul, thank you so much. And I did get the honor to help with interviewing him. And this book, I do really feel is going to help a lot of people. I told you when my husband's grandpa died, it was the first time I ever saw my husband cry. And he was embarrassed that I saw him cry. And he left the house because he didn't want me to see him like that. And so I do feel like this book really is going to make a difference for a lot of people. I shared with a group of women that I work with and immediately had someone reach out. I need that book. So-and-so could really benefit from it. I need that book for this person. So thank you for your presentation. Thank you for putting all your emotion into this book and wanting to bless others, because I really do feel like you will. Yes. So if anyone has any questions for Paul, does anyone have any questions that they'd like to ask him? No? Okay. Well, I would like to get a picture of everyone that's here. I think that'd be really, really awesome. And what we do to end our meetings is we have shout outs. So if anyone has any shout outs that they'd like